Hey guys, we're here at Screen Rant at San Diego Comic-Con, and we're here with the monitor himself, LaMonica Garrett. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Dude, I am so excited for Crisis next year.
It's coming.
It's gonna be crazy.
It's coming.
That last scene in Arrow where you took Felicity off somewhere, I was
Yeah.
like, where are they going? Where are they going?
Hey, man, who knows? The Monitor, he's got a whole cosmos as his playground. They could be anywhere.
Yeah. So when you first, were offered the role to be the Monitor, did you have a little background on the character before that?
I knew I'm a comic book head.
Oh, really?
So I
Yeah,
knew
nice.
about Crisis, but I didn't know I was reading for the Monitor. They didn't tell me. So, they put out these real vague, descriptions and the breakdowns in case it gets out and someone gets it. They don't want to know what characters are coming up next on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
So through the audition process, in my head, the way the breakdown looked, I thought I was Val Zod. I thought I was Black Superman.
Oh.
Like the way,
wow.
they said he was a Kryptonian, he's powerful, and the way the dialogue was written, I was like, this is like an otherworldly, he's an alien.
Yeah.
And I didn't know I was the monitor until I was almost like flying out to Vancouver to start being fitted for the outfit.
Nice.
So when I found that out, I was like, oh wow, Crisis.
Yeah, when you first put that suit on, it's like straight out of the comic book.
It's directly out the comic
It's
books,
directly
and
out of the comic book, so it must have been like surreal to just bring this character to
Yeah,
life.
it is.
I think this may be the first time we've actually seen it on.
It's the
live
first
action
time he's
screen.
been brought to life. Yeah, there was a couple of DC reps that were there when I flew back and forth to Vancouver like 3 times for it. Each time I had more and more and more.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time the final show was, it was a couple of DC reps there, and they got a little teary. Like seeing the Monitor come off the page. He's an obscure character. He's not,
very obscure. So
he's not like Green Lantern or Superman or if you know comic books, you know the Monitor.
So growing up, other than the Monitor, who was like your favorite comic book?
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gonna pitch to maybe
hey man,
be in that Green Lantern
powers
movie?
that be. If they're seeing this, hey, it's up to them. But yeah, that'd be awesome.
I mean, there's a ton of things. Like I'm super excited to see like what your character is going to do, and it's very like ominous on what your motives and roles are. As far as if you haven't read the comic books, you don't actually know who the Monitor is and what his actual plan is, because he kind of threw in a wrench with that last crossover episode.
Fans are hating this guy.
I know.
I'm the enemy right now, but the Monitor, he's hard to peg because he's morally ambiguous. You don't really know what his plan is, but he's doing bad things for a greater good for everyone, but his ways of good and bad aren't your ways.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
He doesn't look at the world like that. He's been around for billions of years, so it's like, what we're used to, our ethics, our values down here on Earth, he's evolved past that. So he'll do some stuff for the greater good, and in hindsight, you'll be able to see like, oh, he was a good guy.
Yeah. So you're, because if you read the comics, the Monitor is kind of like the lesser of the two evils. There's a anti-Monitor.
There's a big bad.
Are we gonna get to see him?
I hope.
Closer to Crisis?
I have no idea, but they say it's hard to adapt everything from the comic book to to screen.
Mm-hmm.
But they're doing a bang up job. Yeah. Like they're doing a really good job. So that trick is yet to be seen, but if they do, that would be ridiculously awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
When do you head back to Vancouver to start shooting scenes for crossover?
I go back Monday morning, and I'm working Tuesday.
Oh man, so it's coming.
It's rapid fire. No, and it's like it's one of those just like last season where the Monitor kind of bounces around. Mm-hmm. So where I end up, you might not know. Sometimes I'll be a couple episodes here, one over here. I just, it's a fun role to play too. Yeah. Get to hang out with all the different casts.
Well, because you're on sets of each different show, The Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl. Which one did you enjoy working on the most?
I liked them all. All of them had their different, from where I'm staying in Vancouver downtown, Flash and Arrow are right close.
Yeah.
So those are, it's easier to get to work. And Supergirl's a little further out. And, but yeah, I mean, Legends, it's fun working on all of them.
Yeah.
Meeting the different cast, different makeup departments, hair and, wardrobe. It's like feeling all the different energies. You could tell Arrow's been around for so long. They're like the big brother on the block. Yeah. And just, it starts from there and it kind of, pushes out.
And we're going into the last season of Arrow. And so obviously there's going to be Oliver's death, or as you prophesized,
he might escape.
Yeah, you never know.
Who knows?
We finally figured out that you guys had a plan, and he's going to be helping you out with the multiverse. what are you most excited for fans to see once those episodes come out? Once that big crossover comes out?
I just think Crisis in general, like they've been building this up since Flash 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like this train's been moving for 5-6 years now.
Yeah.
And it's just a fun time to be a part of the Arrowverse. Like Crisis coming, that's a huge thing in itself. But Arrow's last season too, it's like it's the significance of everything that's happening right now. It's there's a lot going on. It's sensory overload, and each individual show has their own hurdles for their their protagonist and antagonist to get through, and it's just fun to be a part of it all right now. Crisis is just one of the biggest stories in DC history. So
yeah, the Arrowverse has definitely done something that the movie universe hasn't done yet. We're creating this whole universe, this whole multiverse, and with a bevy of different characters and heroes and rogues. I mean, it must feel surreal for you to like be part of something this epic and this kind of universe all be put together on screen for fans to just eat up.
Yeah, it's big, and with television, you have 22 episodes, 23, whatever they do, and you just have years and years of planting breadcrumbs. So Hansel and Gretel over the years is like it's culminating into this moment right now, and this is where we're at. But it's significant, and I know the magnitude of it, so I don't downplay any of it. Like I'm having fun.
So apart from being a huge comic book fan, you started off as a in sports. You did a lot of sports. You tried out for football and everything. But the most interesting thing that I found about your career is slam ball. That I've watched that like maybe here and there a few times. It's the most interesting thing in the world to me. And I did catch your episode of One Tree Hill where you were doing that whole thing. Tell me about the transition from being an athlete to an actor, and how was it harder for you to kind of just adjust to all that?
I knew I wanted to get into acting after my football career was over, so I moved back to LA to pursue it, and along the way, slam ball came around, and I still had that competitive kind of itch going on, so I was like, all right, I got time to act, and, we're going to, like, Europe, we're going to Italy, we're globe-trotting the world, we're having fun. It's just that locker room that you miss, that presence of just, with the guys. And then One Tree Hill came around. Yeah. And they had a 3-episode arc of, with slam ball in it. So
slam ball.
So I told and Joe Manganiello was his. So I told the producers and the people from slam ball, like, let me read for that. Like I've been in class, so that got going. I got the role, and I had so much fun shooting that. Like when I got back to LA from North Carolina where we filmed it. Yeah. I said, this is it for me. I quit slam ball, and I just got in acting classes. And that was like 2008, late 2008. And, just slowly from there, I started, making my way.
Seems like the perfect transition. It's just everything comes together and plays out right. Now, are there any other projects or special roles that you can let us know that you're going to be up, we can see you in?
I got, there's a film I worked on called Clemency. It took the biggest award at Sundance. It won over there, this February, January, was it? I did a film with Nicolas Cage, Primal. That'll be out sometime in 2020. Fun, like old school action film.
How was it working with really good an icon like Nicolas Cage?
He's dope, man. Like Nicolas is he's that dude. Like you could tell just by the way he carries himself. Like this is what he does. He lives for it, and he's been doing it forever. And the cast is Famke Janssen. She's been around forever. Yeah. Kevin Durant, he's dope. Like him on Swamp Thing right now. Michael Imperioli. It's a fun cast. So whenever that comes out, that'll be cool. I got another project that I can't talk about, but it's getting a lot of buzz right now. They just haven't released the cast information. All right. But it's
but it's coming out soon. Or it's going to be information's coming out soon though.
Yeah, it'll be out real. They've talked about some of the cast. My presence on that project is I can't. I'm trying.
You're aching to, like,
I'm trying to tiptoe around it, but when it comes out, it's going to be a monster. Like it's a game changer.
So like beyond Crisis, are we going to get to see the Monitor like further into the season after the whole crossover episode?
I hope so. But if they're doing it pretty close to the comic books. I mean, the comic books, the Monitor's seen better days. But we might, they might have a different variation. So it's fun when I get the scripts. they're like getting new issues of comic books.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't read like just, what am I doing in this? I read it as a fan first because I grew up with comic books. And then I read it once as a fan, and then I go back and study it like, all right, what do I need to know? What's going on? What's going to happen if I don't get what I, just whatever I do to,
definitely.
to figure it out.
But that's interesting. Honestly, I didn't know who the Monitor was before the episode, but then I started reading a little bit of comics. And it's straight out of the comics.
Directly
like you look
from the comic
exactly
books,
like
man.
it's like you brought it to life.
It's crazy.
So I'm super excited for Crisis, and thank you so much for stopping by to talk about it.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. This is Comic-Con. This is what it's supposed to happen.
Definitely. So hopefully you guys have a great con. Hope you guys check out Crisis on Infinite Earths coming out. I think it's in December.
December.
So thanks again, and
thanks for having me.